Hi, this is the evaluation of the order trading system for March the 25th, 2021. We had 10 trades on that day, and all 10 trades were buys. First trade was BTU. That's Peabody Energy Corporation. Tripped at 12:06 p.m. at a price of $2.79. And it closed at 293, up 6.55%. You can't get much better than that. Positive trade, positive possibility. OBV looks steadily moving upwards. MACD upwards, staying somewhat upwards. So MACD looks good. DI looks good, strong, really positive in the early afternoon, and positive for the rest of the day. The Bollinger Band showing a steady increase. Next trade is FSM. That's Fortuna Silver Mines Incorporated. Tripped at 12:25:11 p.m. at a price of $6.50. Closed today at $6.56, up 0.46%. Another positive trade. OB looks like a steady increase. Even the end of the day was fairly heavily on OBV. MACD up morning, down a little bit, and up in the afternoon. So pretty much a steady increase. DI somewhat positive for a good portion of the day. A couple of points where it did move negative, which is the down point we saw. MACD is showing negative in DI, but end of the day it's showing positive and strongly positive, and Bollinger Band showing the same thing: down, up, down, sideways, up. So stock itself is moving well. Next trade is GIGM. That's Giga Media Limited. Tripped at 12:30 p.m. at a price of $4.34. It closed the day at $4.51, actually down 7.20%. So it made a recovery after its decline. Its previous close is lower than previous close. OBV looks okay. Looks like it came up here in the early afternoon. MACD came up, came down up in the mid-hour, where it's showing up on OBV, it's showing actually came down in MACD, so averages came down, but end of the day it was coming up again. DI showing the same thing, positive and day positive, somewhat sideways, and okay, that's not a very good chart. Going to change the axis scale. Yeah. Minimum. We don't want that to be 0. Looks like 3.5 should be more than enough to give us a good understanding of the. There we go. That's better. Bollinger Band showing a steady increase, so that's good also. And next trade is FOLD. That's Amicus Therapeutics Incorporated. Tripped at 255.07. Closed at 950, up 0.12%. Excuse me, up 1.28%. So that's another positive. Not a high positive. Most likely it was probably up. Yeah, it looks like it was up, above the 950 point that it closed up multiple times. So it looks like they would have multiple times getting out above the 950 mark. But even though it's still 1%, was still up above its tripping price. OBV looks good, somewhat of a steady increase. MACD in the afternoon, that's where it came up and then recovered a little bit. DI showing the very same thing, up, and up. In closing, it was up. And Bollinger Band, showed that it came up in the afternoon, moved sideways. So next trade is FCEL. That's Fuel Cell Energy Incorporated. Tripped at 255.11. at a price of 13.10, closed the day at 13.28, up 6.24%, and is even up early morning with the activity there. Check to see if the prices are okay. OBV looks steadily moving upwards. MACD came up and up, so there's 2 points in the afternoon. It actually came up while it tripped. DI strongly in the morning, or early afternoon, morning, up, strong. So it was actually very strong on the DI side also. So 100 band showing somewhat of a regular increase, so it's good stock. Next trade is BB. That's BlackBerry Limited. Tripped at 255.20 at a price of 9.86. Closed. Wow. Closed the day at 90.88, up 3.13%. And look, 10.13, it's up 2.55% early morning. So the stock's moving very well. It wasn't a pause, it would have been a definite possible with the price obviously moving up in pre-market. OBV looks okay, steady increase. MACD up. MACD looks okay. DI looks good. It's nice to see when it jumps up on the average side for DI that high. And it's a Bollinger Band pretty much moving on a regular increase. Next trade is Gevo. That's Gevo Incorporated. Tripped to 255.34. A price of 8.41. Closed the day at 8.59, up 5.27%, and early morning up 0.47%, so that's good. This is another positive trade. And the 14.55, 14.34, yep. So OBV looks good, steady increase. MACD up and up in the afternoon, which is when it tripped. DI up for a good portion of the day, and you can see heavily up positive in the afternoon. Bollinger Band came up sideways a little bit and then up, so the stock was basically moving up for the day. Next trade is MGM. That is MGM Resorts International. Tripped at 2:58:05 p.m. at a price of 37.52. It closed today at 37.96, up 2.87%. And indicators for this. Looks good. The afternoon, OBV shot up, MACD shot up, and DI all shot up. Bollinger Band shot up. We weren't recording for the whole day on this stock, but you see the time we were recording, the indicators were showing a good strong movement upwards. Next trade is INO. That's Inovio Pharmaceuticals Incorporated. It tripped to 2:58:32 p.m. The price of 9.04. Closed the day at 9.06, up 0.89%. Another positive. And OBV, you can see in the afternoon here, it shot up. That's good. MACD in the afternoon, it's also shot up. DI actually was negative for the early afternoon. Early to mid-afternoon, it was negative, but you can see it moved heavily positive in the afternoon. Bollinger Band showing saying came up a little bit, dropped, and then came up. So that's the way that one went. Next trade is IVR. That's Invesco Mortgage Capital. Tripped at 3:21:48 p.m. at a price of 3.96. Closed the day at 3.96, up 2.06%. And that's an interesting one. 3.21. So around here, 3.97, 3.96, 3.99. We got a good half an hour there where it was up multiple times above its tripping price, and some actually fairly high. So that's another positive. And we'll check the indicators. OBV looks good. MACD, you can see it came up in the afternoon where it's tripped, down a little bit at the end of the day where it was recording, but DI is good. When you see DI average move this strongly, you can tell it's moving fairly heavily positive, so that's good. Bollinger Band, yeah, it came up, moved sideways, and came up in the afternoon. Just a little bit of a decline at the end of the day. So that's 10 out of 10 trades, so you can't get much better than that. The good thing to see is that 9 of the 10 stocks that were tripped closed above its tripping price, so that's good. So it looks like the markets yesterday were moving fairly strongly positive direction, so the end result is what we're seeing here. So overall, it was a very good day. I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much.